Immigration was a hot topic during the 2016 presidential election.
We're going to have a very, very strong border. We are going to build the wall. You know that, right?
Republican Donald Trump, who was the eventual winner, spoke often about immigration, often saying that his plan for America was to strengthen border security and deport millions of undocumented citizens across the country. Immigration is a topic that is well known here in Guymon, Oklahoma, located in the state's panhandle. Over half of the residents in Guymon are non-white. Many have moved here over the last couple of decades for the growth in manufacturing and processing jobs.
We have a hog plant actually where a lot of Hispanics work. That's what keeps the Guymon running, because it's the main source of jobs here is the hog plant over there. We have quite a bit of Hispanics and then Cubans that came and then Africans that started working there. That's why they come from a big city to work here, because in a big city, I mean, there's a lot of attraction, a lot of partying, and not a lot of work. And here, well, it's not a lot of partying, you don't have a lot of things to do, so if you work, well, you have money, but you don't have nothing to spend it on.
When did you kind of start to see that shift, thinking like, oh, we're kind of a changing community?
Probably, I came in '95, and that's probably right when it started, because Seaboard, I think it would open the next year and brought in quite a few employees for it. So that changed our demographics a lot at that point. And so I knew when we had people coming in that none of us could speak the language that they were coming in, that there was going to be some challenges for our schools.
What was that like for the community then, to have that kind of influx of?
Well, there was it was not fun for a while for that time of the year when all this was going on, but it ended up being more, and that's been, gosh, almost 21 years, so it's changed a lot in that 21 years too.
Of course, we went through the evolution that when they first came, they brought a lot of folks in from Mexico and Central America, Guatemalans, whatever. But now it's got to the point, and the explanation that I've been given is that they've started bringing a lot of people in from Northern Africa, Kenya, places like that. And the reason for that is in the other parts of the world, the green card allotment isn't used up. And it is in Mexico. So it's easier for them to get those people green cards and bring them up here as a labor force. And that's been one of the challenges in the packing industry, is that your local middle class Anglo-Saxon guy that grew up in Guymon, he doesn't want to go work in that plant and work as hard as they do, even though they make some tremendous money. We've tended to have got lazy.
We're going to educate them the best we can, and that's why you've got to do it. You can't not do it, because in our other population that has changed a lot is our Caucasian population has dropped in the school. We had 1,500 when I first came here, and we're down to 600 now. And so 22 years ago we were at 1,800. Today we're over 3,000.
So I think a lot of people came here because this is where they could get work. And I think what you're going to see in second and third generation is they're not going to go just where they can get work. They're going to try to get a job doing what they want to do. Because there are a lot of people that are working in jobs here that it's not their dream job, but it's how they feed their family. And I think as generations move, what you're going to see is they're going to be just more interested in if they want to be a reporter, if they want to be a doctor, if they want to be whatever. And so I think that's going to be the largest shift. And so what you're going to see is, I think we will become more multidimensional in terms of the economy here, because they're going to start businesses. They're going to start carpet cleaning, and they're going to open a store, and they're going to do all kinds of different things that aren't so kind of ag industry specific or focused.
Close-knit community, a divided community because of that, or how would you describe it?
Well, I think since there's not like a lot of things to do. I mean, you have money to save up, and then you can go somewhere and travel and spend it. But I mean, it's been growing. The couple of last years, we have been getting more stores, we've been getting more restaurants. It's been growing out of nowhere. Like, we've been seeing changes, more restaurants, more people coming into this actual little city. And I think its main source is the working. Because if they can't work here, they can work in Liberal, Kansas, which is 45 minutes. There's a cow plant there. So if you can't work in a hog plant, then you can work in a cattle one.
And speaking with longtime residents of Guymon, they said they've seen quite a change over the last couple of decades, and sometimes that change hasn't been easy. They understood a lot of the concerns nationally about the issue of immigration, but said that it's a system that could be improved to actually make it easier and more streamlined for workers to come in, especially to communities of Guymon that rely heavily on immigrant labor. And talking to many of those immigrants and minorities in Guymon, they said that sometimes it's felt like a rocky relationship with those here in the community, but there are efforts underway to try to bridge that divide and bring more unity across the community.
Well, there was to start with, and anytime people resist change. So anytime something like that comes in, and then all of a sudden you just bang, you're all these new faces. It creates some friction, but it never got. Oh, it wasn't pretty at times.
Why would you want to make the same amount of money and teach at a school that you're going to teach and everybody's going to understand every word you said, or come to Guymon and you're not going to, and not everybody in your classroom is going to understand what you're saying. So it's tough to get them out to this area, but we have 204 certified teachers is what we have. So it's tough. My principals work all summer trying to find people to work. We're a rural school with urban problems because of our diversity. It was mostly what it is. And we speak, like I said, 34 different languages in our school, so that causes some problems with us. Trying to communicate mostly with parents is what that problem we have with it. So it is a different situation probably than anybody else in Oklahoma, besides us and maybe Oklahoma City. We're 71% Hispanic is what we are there, and then the other 9% is Asian and African, the majority of those are.
But I think now everybody's there's still people that don't like the deal, but there's people that don't like the fact that the sun comes up in the east either. So, yeah.
How long have you lived here in Guymon?
I was born in Mexico, but I was brought when I was 9 months.
9 months, okay.
So I lived in Clinton, Oklahoma till I was 13, and then I moved here, so.
Okay, so this has been home for quite a while. Well, tell me about the market here. How long is the market here?
6 years.
Okay.
And then we serve quite a bit of like clients. We have Africans, we serve Cubans, we sell Mexican food for the Hispanics. We have the money transfer so people can send money to their loved ones in Mexico, Haiti, Cuba, just a little bit of everything.
I think a lot of people here, they supported Trump, even though they have this kind of firsthand knowledge of what immigration looks like in the real world. Do you think they separated that from him? Do you think immigration was a big issue for Trump supporters? Do you think they feel like they kind of saw it the same way you did?
It could have been, or it could have been very much in support of the sound bites that they heard, and solely for that, I'm very personally connected to immigration and how it works and what the process was for me to go through and what the process is for others, and I know that it's broken because I've gone through it. And other people who haven't experienced it, sure, they might go for the soundbite that says, we'll build a wall and we'll send them all back. And that sounds like an easy solution, but it's because they haven't experienced the system.
How do you feel like the growth and diversity has impacted just kind of the community here?
I think it's actually driven more acceptance. Just in the Panhandle, we're so remote from everything that we just welcome anybody who wants to come out here in the first place. That's the way that I feel, and that's the sense that I get from many people that I know. And when I was growing up, I didn't feel as accepted, but I don't think immigrant communities now feel that way because there is so much diversity, and perhaps the age group who wasn't as accepting of diversity is unfortunately passed away. So it's a different mix of people. It's a younger demographic, so it's just naturally more accepting, I think.
It affects your family directly, it might not affect my family directly, but my extended family or people that I know, and that's really sad, I feel like for instance, he said he was going to get rid of everybody. That impacts our town directly because a lot of the people that work at Seaboard, for instance, Seaboard is what maintains this this town. So if they don't have any workers, that means they're going to shut down, and then this town won't have its main source of income. We have kind of a divided town. Like, I don't know if people really quite truly understand that. Like, for instance, you'll have an American person say that they're ready to see all the Mexicans leave and they're ready to see all of the illegals leave. But sometimes I'm like, and they're mad because they get paid cash, or because they're stealing their jobs, or whatever the instance may be. But it kind of makes me wonder. I'm like, okay, well, the Hispanic lady that cleans your house, are you paying taxes on the money that you pay her? Are you reporting that? But, you know, you're allowing these things to happen, but yet you're against them. And it's quite sad. There's no unity there. There's no, hey, I'm looking out for my neighbor, because this is, even though she's illegal, she's a great person and she helps me out when I need it.
He's successfully run businesses, and the government. There's a lot of waste in the government. So maybe he will break down and look at different agencies and see where we could save money. Also, not putting so many regulations. For example, I work in the finance industry. I work at a bank. We have so many regulations that we're just spending so much more money just trying to follow regulations, and we have to follow the same rules that Bank of America does. They have a little bit more money to spend than we do. So he wants to do away with unnecessary regulations that just don't make sense, especially for the size of business that we have. Also, as far as healthcare expenses have gone way up for us. And I mean, he discussed health savings accounts, which I know not very many people are keen on, but it actually makes financial sense, and it would make people more responsible about their health care.
Immigration was a big topic during the election. How did that play here? What are people's thoughts on immigration here?
Well, in Oklahoma, we found out there's a lot of racist people everywhere. They just, because I actually here at the bank, one time I was at the bank, and there was just a lot of racist people. They would just say racist comments. And then, I just turned around and looked at them, because that's not right. I mean, if you see, most of Hispanics do most of the work in the United States, but people, I guess, don't see that. And then, well, we're here to work. We're not here to do anything bad. A lot of people just want to come here to work, to send money to their loved ones. And then, I just heard that, Trump needs to win so they can kick out all the Hispanics and blah, blah, blah. And I just turned around and looked at him, and then he was wearing a Trump shirt. Vote for Trump to get illegal people out. And I was like, this country is made up of pure Hispanics. I mean, if you think about it, my race gets up at 3 in the morning to grow the crops, gets up at 3 in the morning to go milk the cattle for them to have milk. I mean, the way I see it, most of the Hispanics aren't troublemakers. There's probably a few, like every other race, that does something wrong. But I mean, a lot of people are scared of what's gonna come in January because of all what he's trying to do and all this good stuff. I mean, people are scared.
Yeah.
If we're going to have immigration, get the laws to the point that they're understandable, they're enforceable, they're workable, and you don't have to sneak into the country. You don't have to go through all these hoops. But you got to have a vetting process. Everybody wants their citizens or the people that moved into their town to be the model person. We don't want drug traffickers. We don't want robbers or thieves, or you know what I'm trying to say. And I think that's probably, in this part of the world, our concern about immigration. It's and other people have different ideas on it than I do.
Yeah.
But this is a unique part of Oklahoma. We kind of take people at face value, and you prove what you can do and what kind of folks you are.
He even said like on his elections that he has Hispanics working for him. If he does what he's trying to say, he's not going to have any workers either.
He doesn't scare me. I think change is good. But I think a lot of that is the fact that people were ready for a change. We were tired of the status quo. We're tired of Washington bureaucrats or that hierarchies of things, that it was just kind of a continuum, that nothing really changed. They promised change, but they didn't. So, we'll see what happens.
My wife's a pediatrician, and I am 5th generation ranching family, and she's 4th generation ranching family. So we choose and we want to live in a rural area. So we're blessed in that we could get jobs almost anywhere, but we choose to live in a rural area because this is where we want to raise our kids. And from my perspective, this is a part of America that if it's not protected and if we don't do well with it, we'll never get it back. And it's a way of life that's made this country. And so that's why we're passionate about it.
What do you feel like you're looking for out of the next administration, the government?
Okay.
What does it look like to kind of protect, preserve, and help this type of community?
Yeah, I think in terms of protecting it, you have a lot of people who want to live in rural America, but they have to be able to make a living wage. And so part of protecting it is to create jobs where people can live a sustainable life in the places where they want to live. One of the things that I'm the most passionate about is technology in rural America. It's a great equalizer for us. And so if I had a single wish for the next administration would be that either through incentives for private business or some sort of a program, we've got to figure out a way to get technology, specifically access points to technology in the rural school system. And really there has got to be a way, with all this amazing technology and all these smart people in this country, there's got to be a way to do Wi-Fi. And there's got to be a way that people can access online resources.
So I think that, no, I don't think I don't think him winning was that big a surprise. I think it was just one of those things that people is finally like, it's time for a change.
There's so much pessimism. And I just think our best days are ahead of us. And what we've got to do is figure out a way to work together to get to that. That's what this town does really well. And I think other towns in other parts of the country could take a lesson from us. It isn't about keeping people away from your way of life. It's about getting as many people into your way of life as possible.